Welcome back to Stress Align, the space where we untangle stress, restore calm, and rebuild emotional strength in our relationships. Today, we're exploring a question many women carry quietly in their hearts. How do we rebuild emotional intimacy after conflict or even betrayal? It is one of the hardest journeys in love and one of the most transformative. Let's walk it together. Emotional intimacy is more than closeness. It's that invisible thread where you feel safe to be your unfiltered self. It's the quiet joy of being known, even in your flaws. It's being held, not just in your partner's arms, but in their understanding. But when conflict erupts, harsh words, misunderstandings, or betrayal, that thread frays. Suddenly, silence feels louder than speech. Eye contact fades, and trust begins to feel fragile. Have you ever noticed how quickly distance can replace closeness? One day you feel like partners, the next, like strangers sharing a roof. This doesn't mean intimacy is gone forever. It means the bond needs repair. And repair is possible. Conflict and betrayal are not just moments, they leave ripples. The ache of hurt, the fire of anger, the sting of shame or guilt, the hollow ache of loneliness. These emotions are heavy. They echo in the body. A racing heart, a tight chest, restless nights. And they echo in the relationship, shorter conversations, fewer touches, cautious silences. Science tells us that betrayal activates the same parts of the brain as physical pain. No wonder it feels unbearable at times, but remember, pain signals where healing is needed. Healing intimacy begins with a choice. Both partners must decide, do we try again? Do we rebuild? Because intimacy cannot be rebuilt by one person's effort alone. It is a shared bridge. One cannot repair it while the other keeps breaking the planks. So ask yourself gently, am I willing to risk vulnerability again? Is my partner willing to own their mistakes and walk this road with me? If both hearts whisper yes, then the journey can begin. Communication is more than speaking. It is presence. It is listening without sharpening your reply. Begin with honesty. Find a calm space without phones or distractions and say, I want us to talk, not to blame, but to understand, so we can repair what's been hurt. Then listen. Nod. Let silence make space. And when you respond, speak from your feelings, not accusations. I feel lonely when, instead of you never. These subtle shifts turn walls into bridges. Conflicts often ignite old wounds, what Dr. Sue Johnson calls raw spots. Maybe it's the fear of abandonment or the sting of rejection. These raw spots make us react bigger than the moment. If you notice yourself spiraling, pause and ask, what deeper fear is being touched right now? And when your partner shares their raw spot, receive it gently. You are not fighting against them, but against their wound. A true apology is not words alone. It is responsibility. It is eye contact that doesn't flinch. Say, I see how my choices hurt you. I am sorry, not to erase the past, but because your pain matters to me. And for the betrayed, courage lies in expressing what you need to feel safe again. Healing is not about punishing, it's about being seen. Trust is not rebuilt with grand gestures. It is the daily choice to keep promises, even the small ones. Answering when you say you will, being transparent about your day, offering comfort without being asked. Even a 2-minute emotional check-in each day begins to rethread the bond. Over time, small stitches weave back a stronger fabric. Science tells us touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. A hug can slow the heartbeat, a hand on the shoulder can soften anger. If intimacy feels far, begin small. Sit close. Share a gentle touch, no words. Let the body remember safety before the mind does. Betrayal, like infidelity, is the deepest wound. For the one who betrayed, the path is full ownership, no excuses. For the one betrayed, the path is honest expression, with boundaries that protect. Healing will not be linear. There will be setbacks. but transparency, consistency, and patience can begin the climb back. To rebuild intimacy is to risk vulnerability again. Share fears and hopes aloud. Try the compliment sandwich. Gratitude, then a request, then gratitude again. Example: I value how you've shown patience. One thing I need is more reassurance, and I'm grateful for the effort you've made this week. Gratitude builds emotional safety. Start small. A note on the fridge. A whispered thank you. Over time, these become the new language of love. Intimacy isn't rebuilt only through heavy talks. Shared joy repairs too. Cook a meal together, try a dance class, laugh at a movie. Play softens pain and reminds you that your story isn't only about wounds. Forgiveness is not erasing the past, it is loosening the grip of resentment so love can breathe again. And patience is essential. Progress is not perfection. If you slip, apologize. If you falter, reset. Healing is a rhythm, not a race. Sexual closeness may feel fragile. Do not rush. Begin with non-sexual touch, gentle closeness, shared rituals. As trust rebuilds, intimacy will follow, naturally, tenderly. Remember, healing the we also means tending to the me. Practice self-care. Journaling, prayer, gentle movement, trusted friendships. When you nourish your own calm, you bring that calm into the relationship. When intimacy is rebuilt, the relationship is not the same as before. It is new, more honest, more resilient, more alive. Conflict and betrayal can break, yes, but they can also awaken. They can teach love that is deeper, not because it never hurt, but because it learned how to heal. Emotional intimacy is not a destination. It is a practice, renewed each day in the small choices to listen, to touch, to forgive, to love. If you are in this journey, know this: you are worthy of deep connection, of trust restored, of love that feels safe again. Thank you for joining me here on Stress Align. If this video spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs hope. And remember, stay calm, stay connected, and always remember, you are worthy.